Welcome to Angry Meme Productions. We moved locations because I was working on my car today, so there's that. Which topic we're gonna work on today? What was it? Just stupid people having to deal with stupid people.
Well, and I think I will generally say stupid people, but I try not to berate or degrade people in that fashion, even though, yeah, sometimes it really does seem like you're just dealing with people who don't use their brain at all.
I know. I mean, you deal with them at work. You deal with them and not saying that we're not stupid either. I mean, we have our moments.
Most definitely.
we, I pretty much. Oh my God! It's like saying I'm a genius and letting that stupid train run over you constantly, over and over and over again. But what we're talking about is people that just don't understand simple concepts. I mean, you even got people that are in political office that just don't understand simple concepts and make crap laws.
Yeah, crap laws and well, it's. And I'm not talking bad about my mom when I say this, but it's like I was talking with my mom the other day, and she was insisting that, certain things were wrong. And our basic conversation was, I don't think that marriage laws are right. It should either be more of a contract under the government. In other words, however you write said contract up with whatever partner and or partners, as long as you abide by said contract and you follow the rules of said contract, you're good. No no gray lines or shades of pink or blue or anything else. Just black and white, this is how it is. Or it should be something that should be dictated entirely by the church, and the government should leave their hands out of it. And I kept getting the argument back and forth about how she couldn't understand what I was trying to say, where all I was really trying to say is I feel like church and state should be separated from one another, and that, if the government is going to recognize marriage, it shouldn't have anything to do with the church, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Furthermore, we are talking about the same person who read the gas gauge on her car backwards once. And then there's, driving in traffic. How many times have you been cut off by somebody? And I'm not saying these are bad things, but, we all identify these people as, oh, damn, there's a stupid person in front of me, or damn, that stupid person behind me, where in all reality, they're making mistakes we've all made, or they're doing things that we've all done without realizing we've done it.
I don't know about that, because you can have a person that's going that, honestly, I think there should be like an age limit to driving, because you'll get it to where you'll get in front of behind someone. Yeah, you'll get behind somebody and they're going like 10 miles under the speed limit. The speed is actually posted. They don't want to go forward. You're locked up because you have a semi right here that's following their law because they can't go a certain speed on certain roads.
Or worse than that, they're governed.
Yeah.
A lot of trucking industries govern their trucks at 60 miles an hour because they're either trying to conserve fuel or they don't trust their drivers to abide by state and city laws.
Yeah. But you have and people that can't use. It took me probably around about 15 years to start using my blinkers, so I can't really say anything about that.
Well, and that's kind of back to what I'm saying. It's we get frustrated when we deal with these people that at that moment in time, it is perfectly logical to call them a stupid person, but on the same token, they're probably not being as stupid as we're perceiving them.
Yeah. Well, what gets me is Dan Cummings said this in an interview, is he loves because he does Time Suck podcasts. And what he does is he does all the research for the podcast and is very intelligent. There's some dark stuff, and he does some dark humor on it, but it's very informative. If you you could walk away from listening to one of the podcasts on a certain subject and know almost everything on that subject because he goes in depth. Well, he went to a 10-year reunion where a kid from his high school, when he was in high school, kept on asking, why do you want to learn that stuff? Why do you want to learn that stuff? Well, he went back after 10 years, saw that guy being, he was a fry cook at a restaurant, while Dan Cummings is a college graduate. He's a comedian. He makes a lot of money. He makes 2 podcasts. And, yeah, I can understand why you want to keep on learning. I mean, constantly. Me and you, we have the same problem to where we're not fulfilled with knowledge. We go after stuff and think about stuff that is just, why do you even want to learn that? It was there. I'm bored.
Shit, I was researching how to build graphene batteries last night. Almost made me late for work because I forgot that I'd left my phone in the car. And then I'm getting this, something's not right. What's not right? I don't have to go to work yet. Oh, where's my phone? I'll go get my phone. I'll go out and the alarm's going off on my phone telling me it's time to go to work.
So, I've done even worse. Is I wake up thinking I have to go to work right then and there. Yeah, I mean, I can't even tell you. Write in the comments, either on Facebook. We're on Facebook, Well, we don't really put anything on Instagram right now. I'm probably going to do that today. Start doing that. We need to put like photos of us on the Instagram page that we have. But just write in the comments in the video. What is the stupidest thing you've done waking up? Ooh. Because the stupidest thing, I'll get ready for work thinking I have to work, look at the clock, see the time. Oh man, I'm almost going to be late. I'll get to the car and everything, and then I do this. I've been starting to do this, is check the day of what the day is, because I'll forget and it'll be like Saturday. It's like, I don't have to work today. What? And I'm baffled because I don't even know what to do after that. I'm sitting in my car. It's like, I guess I could go eat, or
I guess I could honestly say the stupidest thing I've done waking up probably doesn't count as a stupid thing because it has more to do with my balance and my lack of it at times. It's really, really bad when I'm first waking up. But I have woke up to walk out of a room and walk into the long edge of a door because my balance is that screwed up.
Well, that's more or less not stupid. It's more of a I guess it would be a genetic defect.
Well, I don't know if it's a genetic defect or if it comes from,
because that's not really stupid. I mean, I'm talking about something that you should know this. After, I'm 41. I know I should know this, but I flip out and I don't figure it out.
Time really does become irrelevant to me a lot of times. I mean, it becomes that scenario where unless I know I have to be somewhere or I have to take my medication.
Or me saying, yeah, and I keep on trying to stop myself.
Well, there's little habits that we all have that in order to break yourself from a habit, it requires you to constantly focus on that habit, and then over a period of time, by constantly focusing on that habit, you can stop yourself one instance at a time, and gradually you'll get out of the habit.
Yeah.
So they say that breaking a habit is more difficult than building a positive habit. Like waking up and making sure you wash the dishes every morning. Say you set your dishes aside from dinner one night, and you just start making a habit of making sure you do the dishes either when you're done with the meal or in the morning when you wake up. Either or. Just, pick a time where you make it a habit to always do those dishes when said activity occurs. Eventually, you'll get into the point of you'll be doing that without even realizing you've done it, because over the course of 3 to 4 weeks of forcing yourself to do it, you'll have formed a positive habit.
Well, there's also the stupid people that end up trying to help you out, and it in my opinion, it's really cute but really unnecessary, because I have to deal with a person. I won't name names. Probably see the video and just flip out. But they give you some They think they're giving you some positive stuff, like how to run a business, how to do videos and everything. When we do these videos and everything, the person should know by now what I'm talking about, and if it's him, he'll comment about it, guaranteed. But he swore up and down. He's like, "Man, you look everything you're doing looks like crap. It's so low tech and everything like that." And there was a movie that was made on a cell phone and won an Academy Award. So I must be doing something intelligent.
Well, and that you also have to think about our limitations at the moment. We want to get started and we want to get moving, but
we got very low stuff, and we're just working with it. That's the one thing that I don't think he's going to understand, is the fact that isn't, hey, I'm going to wait until I get the big stuff and start doing the stuff. No, get started. Because once you get started, you don't want to stop.
Well,
even getting like small comments on here, I'm not saying I'm addicted to it, but I'm saying it motivates me.
Well, I wasn't going to say that. I was actually going to say that, it's not that it's not even that once you get going you don't want to stop. It's that sometimes you lack motivation on a personal level. You could have a bazillion different ideas, but if you don't have the motivation to start, you're never going to start.
Yeah.
And if you're constantly saying to yourself, I'm going to put it off until I have the stuff I need to do it. I'm going to put it off until I have the stuff I need to do it, instead of saying, okay, what can I work with that I have right now? What can I use to get started now? And then we'll build up to something better. If you don't take the time to put in that initial start,
yeah, you're never going to start.
You're always going to be procrastinating.
You know what I just thought of? And this is going to be ridiculous. If actually people watch this and it gets going and everything, you can literally have a drinking game every time I say yeah. I just thought about that. I was like, why not just keep on saying yeah? Because if you do a drinking game, because most people, they'll do that. That's boredom, really. But it's, I know they do it on a couple of podcasts to where people watch the podcast religiously. And anytime they say like a certain word, it was like when we had a drinking game. Every time someone said Smurfy on the Smurfs, we'd get blitzed out of our minds.
But there was no, I'm not so much into watching his show now because he's less educational than what he was when he first started. But there's a blacksmith on YouTube that I used to enjoy watching all the time. And he's very, very young, and he has put in a lot of effort into building up his channel.
No, I think you'd know which one you're talking about. I think he just moved and he hasn't really put anything new.
No. He still puts out new stuff. He moved to Colorado.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, for a while during his podcast, he had a drinking game where every time he dropped something, people would drink.
Yeah.
So if he drops his hammer or he drops the piece that he's working with, or anytime he drops something, people would drink. And he would, constantly say you don't have to drink alcohol. We're just making it a drinking game as per se. So if you're underage and you're watching this, get yourself a glass of orange juice or a cup of water.
Well, at least you'd be real hydrated. How to hydrate your kids, making a drinking game. How you turn your kids into alcoholics, make it a drinking game.
See, and that falls back to where we started at. We can't always say that we are the most intelligent people.
Oh, God, no.
I try to tell everybody, I know a little bit about a lot of things, and I try to constantly educate myself, but that doesn't make me smart.
No.
I've made enough dumb mistakes in my life that if I look back and go, look at all the stupid, I think I could probably laugh at myself for hours.
Yeah, I know I could.
If not, I'd be laying down, wallowing in misery and despair.
Yeah.
I need my gun.
But no, and another thing is going. Oh, man, I don't know if it would count as stupid people, but I've seen. You can go to Walmart and just find them by the bushel loads. I seen one chick. She had a goat and a child backpack. Yeah. Yeah.
All of some things just leave me with lack of words.
I'm telling you. I posted it on my Facebook, and that was a long time ago, though. It was I think it was last year that I did that. And it was just a chick with a goat in her backpack. She looked elderly and probably blitzed out of her mind from something.
Well, it really does. It comes back to the point that I guess we started trying to make is dealing with the people that we deem as stupid on a day-to-day basis.
And you could be one of them.
It's something we all have to do, and in a lot of cases it boils down to,
dealing with yourself.
Yeah. They're making mistakes that you've made or will make.
Or are making.
We can't necessarily classify them as stupid people.
How many stupid mistakes did we make on working on that car today?
3 I can think of immediately.
Yeah, probably 5 or 6.
The first one being, we should have checked everything before we slapped said part on.
Yeah.
And then the number of times we dropped stuff that we shouldn't have dropped. And
well, that's just accidents. Accidents happen. I'm just like my sister, but Anyways.
Oh.
But when we were working at AT&T, we had to deal with. I literally had to deal with. We would get probably about 1 or 5 calls that really because what we did was we basically worked.
We were technical advisors.
Yeah.
And what we did was we would help the technicians out in the field. They would call in and then they would hook their equipment up to the line. Just the same thing they would have to do on their own. And their equipment would then send us information. The same information they were getting there on site. We would have to interpret that information and tell them whether they had completed the job or whether there was something else that needed to be done. And usually, like David and I, we both worked in a separate department from the majority of the call center. We could actually tell them to the point of, this is what's wrong with your line currently. We need you to go out X number of feet from where you're currently located and look for this.
Not even that. I had it to where there's people that work on the inside and there's people that work on the outside. The people that work on the inside on certain states, they're allowed to work on the outside also. But if you get them and you say, hey, check the outside real quick. See if you're getting big numbers on the outside. Oh yeah, I'm getting big numbers. So it's not an outside problem. It must be an inside problem. Well, I'm only getting 0.53 on the inside. Well, the wiring on the inside is probably wrong then, or bad. Something's messed up going from where you're located, where you're going, and going on the inside. No, I think it's an outside problem. Do I have to do you have a phone handy? Can I get your phone number so I can do pictures? Because apparently you don't understand speaking. I can do pictures. I can hold up a sign that says, "Hi, outside, not your job. Low, inside, your job." And they still would probably not get it.
Well, and that's basically down to what I was saying, I could tell them from, they were hooked up from the inside, and I could look at all of the information I was getting and tell them, yeah, you've got a problem right at your meter, wherever you're hooked up at. Yeah. Check it for this, this, and this. No, I looked. It says, look again. Oh, you're right.
I think
like you were saying, if they're hooked up inside and you're saying, you've checked this, this, and this, and they're all correct. And then they say, yeah, and you say, okay, check outside. Check for these things specifically. And if these things look good, I want you to hook your meter up with this, this, and this in this fashion. Okay. And they go out there and they hook up, and then you tell them, yeah, your problem is on the pole, like I was figuring it was, because the numbers you get off of those meters give you certain readings for resistances and other things like that. And if you knew how to read what you were looking at, you could practically tell them if they were looking at a tail on the inside that was a half inch to a quarter of an inch that was causing their disruption, or if it was something that was further outside.
No, the funniest call I've ever gotten was when the guy was in Austin checking the line. He's like, I don't think the box is close enough. I was like, being the high up there that I am, I was like, well, let me be the judge of that, sir. And I typed in his address, and I typed in the box he was trying to get at. And I was like, am I looking at this right? If you're looking at the same thing I am, yeah. Okay, yeah, there's no way. He had his line box coming from Plano, Texas, and he was in Austin, Texas. That's probably about 4 hours. I think he could have tried it, but I guess it wouldn't have worked. That would have been a long line. I told him that. It's like, it'll be a long line, but you can do it, buddy. I have confidence in you. You're gonna mark out the ticket. Yeah, of course I am. There's no way you can do this. I mean, if you pull this off, you have to give me your name and number so I can have you hook up any place that I get to. But wait a minute, was it you that had that one call, or I think it was either you or Ben that had one call that he grabbed all those tools. He was set to go into the house to talk to the person, because I asked him, I was like, hey, you're gonna have to check on the inside just in case, because it's part of your job. I know you're a line tech. And he's like, yeah, no problem. Let me give him my stuff and everything. Go check the inside. You got all your stuff. I made sure. I asked. I asked. It's like, all right, I'm walking in the thing. Okay, you got everything you need. Yeah, pretty sure. Gets to the door, knocks on the door. Person opens up the door. Oh, sorry, I forgot my crimpers. I got to go back and get that. I'm on the phone the entire time. You're supposed to have a timeline, but certain things you don't have to worry about. Anyways, he goes, hey, I'm gonna have to grab my crimpers. I totally forgot. I was gonna come in and check your line, but I'll talk to you in a little bit. Goes back to his vehicle. I was like, dude, I thought you said you grabbed everything. I was like, I gotta call the cops. Can you call the cops right now? I was like, what the fuck's going on? Apparently, when the guy opened the door, there was a woman in a chair duct taped into it.
That wasn't me, but...
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure I didn't answer that call.
I think it was Ben then. Ben was telling me about that. That was hilarious. I was like, oh my God. So he called up. He didn't call up 911. He just hung up the phone. He's like, dude, call 911. I'm hanging right now. I'll call 911 too. Where you at? Okay, location, everything. I still don't know what happened after that. I was so pissed off. I was like, wait a minute, what's the rest of the story? Was it the chick that was hung up or anything? Did he call you back? What happened? I don't know. I just lost touch with them. Dude, there's certain things you keep up. Especially on that. That's the story. You want to keep going. But, oh, that was another comment last time about the video that we did last time. Is 'cause the way I sit, I slouch. I really slouch. I slouch really bad when I'm sitting. And when I have a relaxing chair, I am slouched. But the chair where we were at the dinner chair that I was sitting in, I looked really small. And Candy was like, hey, you look like a hobbit in between two giants. And I'm like, really? I'm slouched. I really am really tall. I mean, Michael's only like,
I'm 6 foot.
Yeah, you're like an inch taller than me. That's about it. And Jason, he's about my height. But me slouching down like this, you look like a freaking giant. So,
Well,
but that's a stupid thing on my part. I shouldn't slouch, but I like slouching. I like feel relaxed, especially when you're talking or anything. When you're talking to a person, that was a stupid thing I did last video.
excuse me.
But a lot of the other stuff that's, oh my gosh, I keep on. There's this friend of mine, his ex-wife. We're talking about 9/11, and I guess Two Towers from Lauren Reens just came out. And we were talking about the airplanes hitting the Trade Center. And we mentioned Two Towers, so I guess that's where she got it from. But she kept on for about 30 minutes trying to figure out. I mean, she literally asked, she's like, where are the airplanes? Where were the airplanes at in that movie? I'm like, what are you talking about? I watched that whole movie, and I didn't see an airplane hit any towers. What? We were talking about 9/11. Oh, so it's 9 minutes and 11 seconds in? No, what are you getting? I mean, we were complex because we're trying to figure out what she was talking. A person that's so stupid that brings you down to their level is a special kind of stupid. Okay? And this is what you're trying to figure out what they're talking about, and you can't get what they're talking about because their stupid is like sucking in and basically ripping into your skull and ripping. Okay, you're gonna have to. You just get. That's what it's doing.
Here's a better definition. The stupid becomes like a black hole in space where no light escapes. And the intelligence would be the light, and the stupid would be the part that's sucking it in and it can't escape.
I guess that's a good analogy, but damn, dude. It really, if you're around someone like that, you just need to get away from that person because you can't help it. I mean, there's stupid, I mean... I have two stupid things that happened to me in my life. One, I'm gonna go with the other person first because the second one was me, and I was really me and my ex-wife at the time were getting in an argument, wasting electricity, and what had happened is I left the refrigerator door open. She slams the refrigerator door. And with the might of her brain power at that point, because she was angry and frustrated at me, she said, David, why are you leaving the door open on the refrigerator? You want everything to get cold in there? I was like, wait, what? I'm confused. If you keep the door open on the refrigerator, does it keep it cold? If you keep it closed, if you keep it open, it does the same thing no matter what? I mean, in my defense, I think she was trying to get at is, why do you keep the door open? Are you trying to cool out the whole apartment?
Or maybe she was trying to say, do you want the stuff in the refrigerator to warm up?
Yeah, whatever. Anyways, the second stupid thing I've ever done in my life, I went to the store to go get some food. Well, she said to get vegetables. I go in, grab the food, didn't get one vegetable. I got most of the meats. She goes up, it's like, you didn't get one vegetable. Me, without even skipping a beat. I got chicken, didn't I? Well, apparently, okay, in my thinking, the only reason why I think this is because I had a person that said they were a vegetarian and they would eat chicken for a protein. So, because of that person putting that thought in my head, 2 years goes by and I say that something's stupid. And it happens. It'll happen out of the fucking blue.
You know, those little stupid things, they can be fun.
Yeah, they can. You just have a
and they can be funny. I think where the kind of stupid that most people get frustrated with
are people that has so much experience, but they think they're right no matter what, and you figured out something new to deal with. I do it all the time at work. We have this one part that everybody's working on the same way. They all work on the same way. I changed the way that I was doing it because I didn't want that much work to go on me. Because if I do it one way, I would have to work the part a little bit more. But if I did it another way, I didn't have to work on that part. And to get the parts out faster, I would do it that way. Well, I showed everybody this, and Barry was like, "No, I like doing it this way." That comfortable with knowing for the fact that they don't want to change no matter what. That's the kind of stupid that you have to deal with too. Is me, I'm always trying to challenge myself. And there's certain times that I don't want to do it another person's way because you get so used to doing it that way that you want to do it that way. But if something comes on and all you have to do compared to, lifting something up, pushing something down, then making sure everything on that metal is good, you got that. Or you can press it down a little bit and it fixes it. And you'll have people. It's always like that. The hardest thing to change on a person is a new idea. No matter what. And the new idea could be vast improvement.
I can agree that a majority of people don't like to adjust their way of thinking. They don't like to have to deal with change of any kind. And some of the other stupids that you have to deal with are ideologies. Like the people who have the ideology that guns are the cause of the problems. They cause gun violence. Yeah. When we take away
Are you sure it's not the mentally challenged person that wants to cause a race war? I think maybe it might be a cause on that one, not the gun.
I'm sure when they take away all of the guns, the bricks are going to be the cause of brick violence.
Or not. They have it. Yeah. No, China has it to where they don't have mass shootings. They have mass stabbings. And they're going even further to where they have to limit what kind of knife you can get, and you have to get a certificate if you're a chef to get a certain knife, like a butcher's knife. You have to have a certificate to get a butcher's knife.
Isn't that what they were working on in the UK?
They're working on that one too, yeah. But that goes off the fact that you have stupid people making stupid laws. I mean, there's I heard this story off of Dan Crenshaw's podcast, Holding Truth or something like that. Anyways, what it was they made you have to get a license to be a florist. But apparently that exam is harder than being a lawyer. To get the license to be a lawyer is less hard than the license to become a florist.
I can actually see that.
I can't. How?
I know what goes into law, and I know what goes into botany.
Other than the fertilizer.
No. There's a lot that goes into botany, not just the fertilizer. You have to know about the cell structure of the plants.
No. I'm talking about a person that just puts flowers in fucking vases.
And if you don't know about a lot of that stuff, there's certain cuts you have to make on certain types of cell structures of certain plants. If you make the cuts wrong, it kills the flower before the flower will wilt and die before it cuts its shelf life in like to a quarter. There's other things like that go into it, different chemicals in the waters, and knowing which different type of flower is what different type of flower, because you can take 10 different kinds of flowers and lay them out, and I couldn't tell you the difference between them, but a botanist could tell you that this is this flower and this is this flower and this is that flower, just by looking at them based on specific traits. I can't tell you. They all look like the same flower to me.
Yeah, but okay. In all reality, though, most people are not going to want that. Those flowers aren't going to last long, and they know that.
But those people still need to have that knowledge so that they can do their job correctly.
I still think it's a stupid law. I really do. That licensing of florists, other than the fact is, hey, this is the only thing I could think of that would actually make it to where that would be intelligent, would be if the flowers that you're dealing with is poisonous.
A lot of flowers are poisonous.
Yeah.
That's another one of those things of, can you identify the difference between this plant and that plant?
No doubt. I still think it's ridiculous. It really is. But another stupid thing that there's a lot of people do, dealing with laziness and stupidity. A person that's they know what they need to do, but they're so lazy they don't do it. And it's something simple, easy. Like, say, I'm trying to think of an example. And I have a bunch of examples in my head, and I just can't think of one right now. Dang it. Like, okay, I need to lotion my hands. But the lotion is way far up there, and it's going to take me forever to get that. So I won't even lotion my hand, and it'll crack to the point that it bleeds. That kind of stupid.
If it's that kind of stupid, I think that's personal choice, and it's really not something I have to deal with. That's their screw up. But then again,
But they want to complain about it too. Those type of people want to complain about it, and then once you give them the answer, it's like, I really don't want to do that though.
Then don't complain.
Yeah, stupid complaints. That's what I was trying to get at. Because you'll have people that complain about stupid. I was like, Yeah, she'll probably want to fucking watch this. Anyways, I have a person that complains about the people that she dates. And I'm like, okay, then don't date those types of people. You actually have an MO. But I was like, well, I was like, no, you don't understand. I fixed your problem. You need to shut the fuck up and just go about your business. You know what? Go to a freaking handicapped person. You could probably make that person happy. Compared to the person that you date is pretty much on that level, but you know for sure that handicapped person is handicapped. The person that you date does stupid stuff, but the handicapped knows how not to do that.
Well, we can fall back to that, I knew a person who they would always find someone to date that was violent.
Yeah.
Or physically violent. And then they would, after a couple of weeks, they would break up with them because, said person is getting physically violent. And this is, well, you keep dating the same kind of person. And they basically looked at me and said, that's because they're interesting.
I know. It's very interesting to figure out one day that you had to bob to the left or bob to the right.
But I was at a loss because they knew going into the relationship what kind of person these people are, but they still got in a relationship with them because they were more interesting than going out with someone more mellow. They found them to be more. That was the type of personality they were attracted to, even though they knew that was bad for them. That was still what they went after.
I can't really complain. Most of the women that I date end up almost stabbing me or causing physically harm because I figured stuff out for them. That really sucks.
The only one I've ever been with was my ex, and she was very mentally abusive for a very long time, and I didn't realize it until...
I honestly think the reason why she was mentally abusive is because she wasn't intelligent herself, and you're a highly intelligent person. Compared to her, you're very highly intelligent. Compared to a Chihuahua, you're very highly intelligent because a Chihuahua can do what it's told. And can't figure out, hey, I'm just going to put this in the dryer because I can turn it on. But there's no power. But the dryer will work. What? Did that just come out of your mouth? Why are you looking at me? I've come to the point to where I just look at a person going, why are you looking at me that way? Because I'm trying to figure out if what you think is the right answer, but you should know it's wrong.
But
can you turn on the power? Can you turn on a light?
For me on that point, that's one of the things I can...
That should have been like a big sign right there. It's like, I should not be in the same vicinities of you.
That's what I was getting at is, that's where it boils down to that statement of, I've done my share of unintelligent things.
Yeah.
Do you honestly stay in a mentally abusive relationship any more than you want to stay in a physically abusive relationship?
Yes, because it's interesting.
No. I didn't even realize what was going on. I honestly did not see it that way. And then they say that love is blind and all the rest of that good stuff.
It's not blind. It's blind, deaf, and dumb at times.
But, got me stuttering because I really don't have...
It is what it is on that aspect, because you'll get to a point where... I did something stupid too. I was dating this one chick, and she broke up with me. Hands down, she tried to stab me over laundry. And I went over to my friend's house. I was so brokenhearted. I was like, oh my God. It was one of those moments. I told him about it. It's like, and he literally flat out fixed the problem with a couple of words. He said, "Weren't you going to dump her like last week?" Oh yeah, why am I so upset? It fixed that problem really fast because I was so stupid and so ignorant about the whole thing. I was like, wait a minute, she did me a favor. Don't do anything stupid. She was the problem, and she fixed the problem. It was just that moment of, I wanted to be the person that did it, not her. I was like, why are you breaking up with me? We're good together. David, you're really not. She tried to stab you. Yeah, but wait a minute. I think you're right. And is that moment of clarity that you're like, oh my God, how could I be that stupid to even try to fucking fix it?
Yeah, it really does. And I think that really it comes down to that, when we walk through the world and we're all thinking we're dealing with stupid people, we're really just dealing with...
Yeah, look in a mirror every once in a while to make sure you're not the stupid one. Because there's times that I'm like, people just look at me, I'm like, wait a minute, why are you looking at me like that? Oh yeah, I was the stupid one on that one. Yeah, okay.
Jesus, I'll have people occasionally tell me, "Oh, you're smart. You're smart." No, I'm dumb as a bag of rocks. You don't believe that? Look at my past. Look at everything I've been through. If I were smart, I'd be in a lot better place than I am now.
We're getting there. We're getting there. We're trying to, at least. And a lot of big business people will tell you flat out they're not intelligent. They just know how to grab one thing and sell it to another person.
Yeah. This is it. Really, I think that, intelligence shouldn't be a measure of what you know. I think intelligence should be a measure of what you're willing to learn.
Well, that's like off of I think it was Return of the Attack of the Clones, Star Wars. There's a part where Obi-Wan was talking to a guy about a weapon that was used against another person, and the guy literally said, "You're a Jedi. You should know the difference between knowledge and wisdom." And that really is the difference. I mean, you could have the knowledge of every book in the world, but you don't have the wisdom to use any said knowledge.
Fair enough.
It's like YouTubing and finding out, hey, I saw on YouTube I can do open heart surgery. I've seen the step by step. Do you really want that person to do open heart surgery on you? No, that's a negatory on that one, sir.
I will honestly tell you. You think I'm gonna... No! Leave me out of that. I don't want anywhere near that bloody, gory, thumpy.
My thing would probably have been, I get to the whole thing, I fix it all up, I open the heart and everything, I get to the heart and I'm going, oh, the thing was buffering at this point in time, I don't know what the fuck to do right now. I didn't finish the rest of it. It was a two-parter. I finished the first part, and I haven't got to the second part yet.
No. Knowing you, it would be, hey, is this the part I fast-forwarded through?
I think I fast-forwarded this part. I mean, and doctors actually work on cadavers, dead bodies already, to get them to experience the work on live beings. And even then, they fuck up sometimes. I mean, okay. people say a doctor's the most intelligent person in the world. There's so many times that I've seen, they had this thing on, it was either on the Science Channel or something like that. I watched it back in the day, and it was mishaps in surgery. And what it was is they started doing like barcode scans of all the equipment they've had when going into surgery, because people would leave like a separator is one big piece of it's metal about that long and about that thick, and people were leaving them in bodies. People's left watches in freaking bodies.
Yeah, I was gonna say hemostats and watches are the two most common that got left in bodies.
Could you imagine that? You're thinking, oh, this doctor, he survived 8 years in medical school. He's super intelligent. Hey, Doc, where's your watch at? Oh, fuck.
I guess he's got an extra ticker now.
Doctor, where's your wedding band? Well, I guess he's married to that bitch now. Freedom! But in hindsight, dealing with other people's problems, no matter how intelligent they think, it's the person that you know that's humble and doesn't really say, hey, I'm this intelligent, I'm up here. That person that screams out, hey, I know this, I'm up here, is literally, you can reverse that, put it down here, and that's how intelligent that person is stupider than a box of rocks. But you got a person that says, hey, I'm probably around here. They actually could probably teach you a thing or two, honestly.
Fair enough. I've definitely learned a lot of things from a lot of people, and I try not to discount anyone for being able to teach me something.
Yeah.
Even if it's something that I think I already know something about, I will generally listen to what someone else has to say and ask questions, because...
Yeah, a person that does ask questions, a lot of the time, they're actually more intelligent because of the whole basic fact of they're trying to figure out what's going on. A stupid person would just go ahead and do it.
But it's one of those things. I mean, we have to deal with other people on a day-to-day basis.
No, you don't. You can just stay at home.
Unless you
I figured that out a long time ago.
I was fixing to say, unless you get to be like I was before I got my medication, and then I wouldn't leave the house. You don't have to.
Oh, you would leave the house. I would drag your happy little ass out of the fucking house. I don't want to be around people. I don't give a crap. You're going on the world. I don't want to.
The world is evil.
It is evil. But if I have to do that's another thing we're probably going to try to do here when we do our workouts. What we're probably going to do is I'm going to try to videotape some of it, and we can post it, because we're going to try to do the whole workout thing. We're both wanting to do it, but I'm the one that has to push us.
And I've been procrastinating until I get my conceal and carry, because, well, the neighborhood I live in is, well...
Well, we can do it in the daytime. Well, that's what I was thinking about doing it. I was going to get up, like, because I've been getting up, like, probably around about 9 o'clock. I'd come by and pick you up and do it then. But we probably you won't see us run, because we'd have to get a GoPro for that, and we can't afford that right now. But we'll probably set it up to where we're doing it here, and we'll just do, a couple of reps, a couple of push-ups. It's one of those things, what I found out, if you see someone working hard, if you have that kind of type of mentality, is like, why is that person working hard? Maybe I should be working hard just like that one person. It's like a virus. Once you see someone get that way, you get that way, and you're like, man, I'm being a piece of shit. Maybe I should start doing workout. That's what I hope with this. But right now, the only thing that pushes me back a little bit is wanting to fix other things, and I have this bad habit. If I want to go from point A, then go to B. Fixing the car was A, where I literally had to give. I knew I had to give myself an extra day to get all that stuff done.
You're not wanting to go from A to B. You're wanting to go from A to Z without ever hitting any of the letters in between.
No, not all the time.
Not all the time, no, but
no. It when go to day to day stuff. To get to point A, I want to get to point B, and that's an intelligent way to do it. You wanna stay focused on one. You want to get this stuff done first, because if you don't get this stuff done right here done, it's going to cause trouble for this stuff to get done, and this stuff is not going to get done because it's just going back and forth.
I was just saying that I've seen your level of patience just.
Oh no! There's certain times, and I'll just grab a hammer. Hammer fixes everything, folks. Hammers fix everything. You want to get rid of that stupid person? Hammer, along with a shovel and an alibi.
We're not advocating anything here. Remember,
I don't know about that. There's some people.
we did start this out saying that everybody can have their stupid moments, and quite frankly, I don't want to be the person the hammer gets used on.
It'll happen. I think I threatened you with some kind of violence at one point in time. But anyways, that's about it for this one. Subscribe if you can. Get some notifications if you want to keep on watching this.
And we're always happy to get comments and suggestions for things you would like us to talk about. Even if it's horrible.
Hell, right now, if you troll me, I think you're the greatest person in the world. Because oh my God, he's stupid enough to write something and think we care. We suck and we already know it. But whatever you want to write in the comments down below, go ahead and do that. And check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Hopefully, I don't want to put a date on it, because every time I put a date on all of our stuff that we want to, extra stuff that we've been wanting to do, we end up having to wait like 2 to 3 months afterwards. Just get ready for some other wonderful things. Hopefully, we can get out here for you guys. And hopefully, you like it. You can spend your hard-earned money and help us out a little bit so we can keep this up and going. My name is David Dickerman.
I'm Michael Moffett.
And this is Angry Meme Productions. Thank you for watching.